After the Reichstag fire in 1933, Hitler claimed that it was communists who had set the fire, even though there was no proof of that, but he used it as an excuse to suspend civil liberties and militarize Berlin. He understood that by demonstrating control of the capital, he could demonstrate control of the nation. So he brought the SA to come in and patrol the streets of Berlin, claiming he was protecting them from crime and communist and socialist uprisings. And the SA patrolled until the night of the long knife, when most of the SA were exterminated and the SS took over. But it was really about silencing dissent and making sure that the capital city was under the control of the Nazi regime entirely. Benito Mussolini did something similar in 1922 in his March on Rome. Tens of thousands of black shirts descended on Rome, and it was enough to intimidate King Victor Emmanuel III to make him prime minister. And he claimed it was to save Italy from worker strikes and from leftist agendas, when really there was no issue. It was just people wanted workers' rights, and it was a way for Mussolini to take over the country. Stalin understood the same thing with Moscow. He understood that it was a symbol of power and that it showed his authority in Russia. So he used secret police and show trials to maintain control and place fear on the citizens in that city so that they wouldn't resist him and wouldn't rise up against him. He also used parades and demonstrations with tanks to showcase force and to let dissent know that it would be put out quickly and violently. Mao Zedong marched into Beijing on 1949. He claimed that the city was finally free of corruption and usurpers. But then Tiananmen Square became a place of deployment to put troops onto people in Beijing, to quell uprisings, and also more parades, more tanks, more show of force. And then the famous image of student protesters where one singular student is standing in front of these tanks. It became a show of force because if you control the capital, you show your force to control the nation. What Trump is doing in DC is a very common political step in authoritarian regimes, because they know if they can demonstrate military control of the capital, they can quell uprisings while protecting their own self-interest, and demonstrate a show of force to warn other cities, if you rise against us, if you fight back, we will put you down with a barrel if we have to. And Trump's claim of controlling crime is the same lie, the same excuse, and it's just as false as each one of those authoritarian dictators were. In Washington, D.C., under Mayor Muriel Bowser, crime is down 27%. Now he's saying he wants to go to Baltimore, Chicago, New York. Baltimore, under Mayor Brandon Scott, is down 30% in homicides. Unheard of numbers. Chicago is down 30% in both homicides and shootings. New York is down 20% in both homicides and shootings. There is not a crime wave. It is an excuse to take over the capital so that then you can send the military to other cities.